That's my 2 cents. Really.
He's the most transferred in, Bamford. 126,000 have transferred him in this week.
Oh, wow.
Pella, sorry, what were you saying there?
Yeah, just kind of echoing that really. Just he's only 5.5 million, so that's absolutely, just the way Leeds were playing, as MVD was saying as well. They're gonna play like that against everyone. I don't think they're going to hold back. They're just going to attack and just go for it every game the way he sets up. So you can see Bamford getting a bag of goals. Especially against maybe the lower teams that just aren't ready to handle him.
And what do you guys think about Willian? Because I had a little bit of a tiff with someone on our Twitter yesterday or so. I said, looked like Willian surprisingly was the guy to have. Don't think he's going to do it, weekly, game in, game out. And this guy wasn't happy. He said, well, he's a brilliant player.
He finished strong for Chelsea last season after the restart, to be fair. So I think he was a player overlooked. And I think he gives Arsenal a bit of that creativity that they haven't really.
Though, is he not? Mate?
He is. He's like 8 million. So he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not exactly a cheap option. Is he going to do it week in, week out for Arsenal? Probably not. But I think in terms of the attacking players and who can get you points, he's definitely up there for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's a great free kick specialist as well, so I think he will be on like their free kicks for Arsenal and set pieces potentially as well. So yeah, I don't know. He like MVD was saying, he can be hot and cold. That's the only thing. He's proven that for Chelsea over the years. He's not always been in and out of teams, so he suits Arsenal style of play. And he looked brilliant. Obviously, no disrespect, but obviously it was against one of the lower teams in the league, but. We'll see. I would put him in. I would still put him in again, going back to like Havertz and a few of the others, and even some of the Tottenham players are about that price. I would probably choose Willian over a few of those as well.
7.5. You've got Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, who's going to be playing up top, right? So he's going to definitely have more goal scoring opportunities. Okay,
MVD. Who impressed you from the first game week?
I think the lads have covered most of it. I mean, apart from the beloved Mo Salah, who looked unplayable. Look, it's good to see Vardy. I know he got 2 penalties, right? So slightly skewed, but I think, good to see that he started as an account and, 20% ownership. And let's not forget, he was top scorer last season. So I am surprised even by myself that it didn't even come into consideration. So yeah, I think the fact that he's off the mark now, albeit with the 2 penalties, is going to bode well for him. And I think Leicester looks sprightly anyway. So, yeah, I think I do back him to continue his goal-scoring exploits. Whether he's kind of top scorer again this season, I don't know. But he's definitely going to be up there. So, look, he's going to be a lad that's going to get you points. So if you've got him in your team, great. If not, I think he's one to consider, especially because our old friend Danny Wings flattered to deceive.
Yeah, Danny Wings didn't quite deliver. I mean, he was dangerous though, and he made a few chances, but
don't count him out too soon. You guys all laughed last year. He's going to come good.
He was good last year because he was so cheap. So
it was about 6 million, right? 8.5 is pretty steep. It's difficult to.
Steep. Yeah.
Who else should get it?
And a few people banging about Che Adams as well, because Che Adams didn't look too bad for Southampton. I think he's going to get better and better, isn't he? With Danny Wings alongside him as well. But yeah, I mean, Danny Wings is. I agree with Sean. I think he's still going to bang in a load of goals this season.
One thing I was going to say, gents, is the most captain player was Aubameyang. Just talk me through that thinking, because I know NBD, you went Aubameyang, but. I mean, I went Liverpool straight on. I can't understand why people wouldn't have gone Liverpool when they're playing at home against a newly promoted team.
Look, I think people saw him in the Community Shield, 2 weeks before. He scored a great goal. He just looked energetic, sprightly. Not a bad end to the season. I think he's a bit hot and cold, and then he finished strong like last game in the season. And his uncertainty around his future, I think, is been cleared up now. And I think a lot of FPL managers just kind of bought into that. And on top of that, the fact that the first game was against Fulham as well, so they probably thought, he's going to have a bit of a free for all. So yeah, I can see why there's a strong ownership, as well as obviously getting a goal scorer who theoretically should be on your forward line into your midfield as well.
Yeah, I understand that. Guys, I will just round out this last segment quickly, tell you who impressed on my side. I think Leicester, you guys called it out already, but I do think Castagni at the back and James Justin, I think defensively they look all right, actually, Leicester. I know it was West Brom, but they didn't look troubled at all. Now, I know Sean John McGinn fanboy is a big fan of Schmeichel. You've got him in the next 2 seasons in a row. So I think that, they look good. Castagni, no one really called him, did they?
No, 2.6% ownership across the board. And 14 points, 5.5 million. Not bad, right?
Certainly not bad at all. Guys, what I'd be interested to hear quickly is who really disappointed, one sort of player each that you'd say get rid of now. He's just not going to do it. NVD, what do you think?
It's a difficult one. I'm just trying to
big call this stage in the season, right?
It is.
Right, someone off right away. Let me go with Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Beavis was already called off by a few of the. Russ said he had no chance last week, so that proved true.
I actually almost put him in my team. I took him out last minute, but now I'm writing him off completely.
I'm going to go for most Spurs defenders as well, to be honest. I think I'm going to write them off. I got Davies in, and I know it's only first game, but like you were saying, Jimmy, right? Expect kind of Mourinho to kind of, batten down the hatches and have a strong defence, but they're just so inconsistent.
What about Southampton? Is it just a blip against Palace?
Yeah, I think they'll find their feet. I think it's a blip.
Do you think Doherty's still worth having from Spurs?
Not at the moment.
Not when your manager's not when your manager's just called the whole squad lazy as well.
Yeah, he don't hold back, does he? He does tend to blame the players, doesn't he? But it's like saying they're not fit enough and stuff like that. But surely that goes on the manager as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to say one thing. I also thought definitely go on the manager, but one thing I was thinking today, and Sean mentioned Sheffield United looked unlucky. Sorry. Made a couple of chances. I don't know about them, mate. I think they're going to struggle this season. I think they really hit the heights last year, and that was a one and done. I think they're going to struggle this season. No Henderson in goal. Ramsdale, not that impressive. I mean, it could have been 3-0. It could have been 4-0 in the end. Patrick, you like Sheffield United, though, don't you? Am I being a bit harsh?
Well, I like their defence. They had a strong defence last season, but with a change in goalkeeper, I had Stevens in. Yeah, they might. Yeah, you're right. They might be a little bit different this season. I still think they'd be pretty solid. But again,
will you keep Stevens at the back?
I will for the moment. Yeah, for the time being.
They got Villa next, and then they've got Leeds after that. So no need to panic.
I think there'll still be a good mid-table, team to select from. But they might drop down this season.
Yeah,
a lower spot than they were last season. You're right.
Okay, fantastic, guys. Thank you very much. That wraps out game week 1, where we saw the value, where we didn't potentially. And with that said, we move into the final segment of the first half. It is 1 clop, 1 flop. Sean John McGinn fanboy, your time to shine. Who's your flop? Who's your clop?
I think there's absolutely no question this week. He must have the record for the number of awards, but Mo Salah, 20 points, right off the bat, bang, 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 hat-trick. And just because I had him double captain, maybe it's me for picking him. But no, I think...
You should have triple captained him, then I'd have given it to you.
Yeah, maybe next week, mate. Maybe I'll do that next week. But no, I think he has to be up there. Flop of the week, I think there's nobody else it can be. Imagine starting the season with 35 points in total, and then whinging because we're doing the show on a Monday and he can't even make it. Has to be the captain. Sorry, mate, but park up your anchor, get on the boat, get the hat on, and buckle up your socks and pick some good players, mate.
Yeah, I mean, captain 35. That's a no for
captain. Going to be absolutely fuming.
And Tottenham got beat 2-0. Oh, mate. Sort yourself out, Captain Ross. Sort yourself out.
There we go then. That's half time. We will be back in the second half, ladies and gents. We're off to get a pie and a beer, and we'll see you in the second half.
Way.
To part 2 of Left Back FPL.
Way.
Welcome back to the second half. I've just been watching recordings of Manchester United when they were good. Back in '99, we won the treble, NVD.
Don't remember it, to be honest, mate.
Oh, you were probably busy, mate. You were probably watching from the '60s when Liverpool won something.
You mean like when we won the league, the Champions League.
Oh, coming in, listeners. That is the call. I'm going to put him on hold just to let you know. The second half, listeners, we're going to have a rambling from the dugout. He's on the phone, and then we're going to jump into our podcast team. Hello, who's on the phone? Hello, who's there?
Hello, this is Sheikh Shak from Dubai.
Sheikh Shack.
Yes, I am the Sheikh of Shak.
Oh, excellent. Sheikh Shack. And how are you? How are you connected to football, Sheikh?
So I love football. Manchester United is my team.
Oh, good man.
But I wanted to buy this club, Newcastle, somewhere in England.
From Mike Ashley.
Some Mike Sports Soccer.
Yes.
But he did not sell. He did not sell. He asked for too many pies, chips, and gravy. I did not want to buy.
He wanted some beers for it, did he?
He did. But I have an important question for you gentlemen. I very much love your podcast. It's favorite. I played I played every week in my palace, in every single room. Everybody must listen or everybody must die.
I like you, Sheikh Shack.
I like you too very much as well. I will send over a private jet.
Boys, a private jet.
But I want to ask private question. I want to ask really question for my Fantasy Premier League team. I want to be number one Fantasy Premier League manager in the world. Otherwise, there will be war. And I want to ask, how do I get my beloved Manchester United players and those awful Manchester City players that are owned by that awful Sheikh who lives in Abu Dhabi? He is poor, not rich like me. How do I get them into my team? Do I risk points going away, or do I play the wild card?
Okay, that's a great question. Very, very good question, very timely. So Sheikh Shack, he wants to know, gents, how does he get Man United players and Man City players into his team for week 2? I guess the question, does he take a big point here? Does he play the wildie? Is it, what do you reckon, Ricky? What are you going to do?
I think if you really want to get some of those players in, it's not just the one. Let's say you're not just swapping Salah for De Bruyne or Aubameyang for one, Fernandes. If you're not just looking to get one, if you want to get more than one, I don't ever think it's worth taking a hit ever, really, unless you're really struggling, unless you've got tons of injuries. So personally, I would use the wildie if you want to use, get multiple in the team. Wouldn't take the hit.
Yeah, more interesting for me. What are you doing, Ricky? What are you thinking? Are you going to...
You'll see next week. To be honest with you, I think it's too early to use the wildie, just purely because... it's early days and we're still going to see some more transfers happen before the end of the month. So I think you want to keep one in your back pocket and see, because there's going to be other surprises other than the obvious, like Fernandes, De Bruyne. There's going to be surprises from some of the, let's say, the cheaper players, right? So that's sometimes what can win or lose you the league. So I think you want to be looking around all those types of players outside the obvious.
Are you not worried that if you're too slow to react, you might miss out on some big points?
Not really, just because personally, I think you're only looking at De Bruyne, Sterling, and maybe Fernandes, right?
Bruno,
I think
right?
Man United, obviously, you do have Rashford, you have Greenwood.
But those 3 players you mentioned, they're all capable of a hat-trick, right? And then you've missed out on another 40 points. If you missed out on Salah this week, then, you're behind quite a way. It's a dangerous game.
The difficult thing about that is have a look at the games, though, right? I mean, Man City are away at Wolves. It's not, Wolves beat them last season. They've started well. It's not going to be an easy place to go. So some of those players that we often expect to get points for City may not. If I'm perfectly honest, you're probably kind of better off Man United playing at home against Palace.
City have Wolves and then Leicester, right? So that's 2 games in a row.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas you've got United, you've got Palace at home, and then you're playing Brighton the week after that. You think there's got to be some